breaking through, pushing back with a point of view. Voices loud, never gonna fade, rising up where the path is made.
All right, welcome everybody. Been a while, but here we go. Hanging Left, episode 12, our first episode of 2026, and our first episode back after a little bit of a hiatus. Todd Ayer is here, of course, my partner in crime in this endeavor. Hello, Todd.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How's it hanging?
Hanging left, as usual. I mean, we got to really be hanging left lately, I'll tell you. Like, you got to really make sure everyone knows that. It's like the only way to hang right now.
Well, the midterms are coming.
Yep. TikTok, my friend.
Yes. So what's I don't know if you want to give
Should
us
we start a countdown clock?
Oh, too much math.
True. No mathematician here.
Just November something. I don't even know the exact obviously it's the first Tuesday in November, but I don't know exactly.
Right.
That is, but
so I mean it really depends. I mean, there's so much going on right now, Matt. I mean, we could almost do like a end of year / like beginning of year in review kind of thing.
Yeah.
And sort of discuss the hot topics. There's no shortage.
Yeah. Certainly. Well, over the last year, of course, I mean, it's almost, what's challenging about that though, is this, we live in a time where the news cycle moves so fast. It's almost hard to even, like, I get this time distortion thing where sometimes things that happened a month ago seem like a year ago, and something that happened in 2026 or something that seems like it happened, not in 2026, 2025 seems like it happened in 2023, or something that happened in 2024 feels like it happened 6 months ago. You know, and I started to notice that during the first Trump administration. I would get this weird time distortion thing, and it continues for me today.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's part of the plan. Maybe they're putting it in the water or something. No, but I actually, similar but different. I completely lose track of time and lose like what day it is, like what month, what anything. I mean, honestly, it's just like it all kind of. It's almost like when they used to do AD and BC, but this is like, BT and AT, like, before Trump and after Trump, although we don't have the after Trump yet, it's like,
true.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. I mean, this has been one, and it's interesting, Matt, because I've been really out there in the field, talking to all kinds of people, doing a lot of like multi-generational conversations.
Yeah.
And, I got some really interesting insights, just to kind of backtrack a little bit. If we want to like look and take a little bit of time warp back towards the days of Harris, one of the things that's interesting is a lot of my younger followers and all my different social media and just people that I'm now working with actively on Sarah's campaign, as well as HRC and all these other things that I'm now doing. They actually seem to say that they got like a spiraling brain type situation going on. So like it's not that they didn't care, and it's not even that they didn't want, like that they necessarily, although the MAGA people made it out like, oh my God, all this youthful people were like going for MAGA. Yeah. I feel like we were competing with the couch, but we were also competing with the loud noise, the static noise. And so they all told me these are kids that are really, really engaged now, but they said, we needed like, sort of like a specific beacon to follow. Like we didn't know who the heck to follow.
Yeah.
And then secondly, we just had to shut it off because we were getting headaches. Like it wasn't that like, so I think, that combined with the fact that you had a whole generation that honestly has been, especially like if they're younger Zoomers, like my 17-year-old twin nephews now are out doing activism and stuff like that with me. But like they said, a lot of their peers just, they don't know anything but Trump. They don't know anything but chaos.
Right.
So like to them, this is a norm, and a norm they're not comfortable with. To us, this is completely abnormal. So when we're like, oh, this isn't how it used to be, they're like, well, what do you mean? Like, we don't even have any other reference point.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, because for us, it's like, I mean, I find myself often saying things like, it's not the same America I grew up in, looking at what ICE is doing, or or looking at, you know, we're
Yeah.
you know, we're possibly going to invade Greenland, or, you know, just weird, all the weird shit.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. But yeah, but I would imagine, you know, for someone growing up now, yeah, this is the only thing they know. So to them,
Right.
this seems probably normal, but probably almost a little too normal.
Yeah. So what I try to do is not normalize it. Like I let them know, and I think it's so important. And like with my nephews who came out with me to the Ice Out rally, they were like, all of these like people much older than us were coming up to them and like thanking them, and like, it's so good to see the youth out here, and like it gives us hope and all this awesome stuff. And I was like, you know, my nephews are extremely bright. So like they're like 17 going on like 35 as far as their brain capacity goes. I mean, they're probably brilliant, although I don't know for sure, but it would not surprise me.
Yeah.
But that said, they still understand, like, you know, they're still kids at the end of the day. So they still, even maybe they themselves might have a better comprehension than like the average 17-year-old.
Yeah.
They still live in that 17-year-old world, like headspace. Like, you know what I mean? It exists. So, oh, looks like we have somebody coming on here.
I don't know what that means though.
I don't know either. Okay, well,
All right.
observer mode.
But welcome, observer mode.
Welcome, observer mode. Hopefully you're not a well, actually, let me save you, let me beat you to it. If you are a member of the MAGA secret police, you don't have to do a real deep dive. Like, I absolutely hate you. And I couldn't, you know, scrub my social media if I tried. So yep, I'm guilty, you know, whatever that means. There you go.
Well, they might come and shoot you in the face.
Okay, well, you know, shoot me in the leg all they want.
There's that.
Yep. Unfortunately for them, I'm around too many people with a lot of loud voices and a lot of media. So I'm not a good target for them.
Right.
Unless they want it all over the place.
Right. Exactly.
They don't, you know, but anyway, so yeah. So, but that also on the flip side gives me hope, you know, and I think it really kind of helps strategize things better. Like, it's a lot easier to deal with, like, oh my God, like we were just so overwhelmed, but like, we really want to get involved. And I mean, and this is even college kids too, not just like high school kids.
Yeah.
You know, because Sarah went to a school, with kids that like next time around, they will be voting in the midterms, and all of them were like super engaged and all this stuff. And they're like,
good.
The other thing is like, they're like, no one came to engage us. Like you know, we had like MAGA trying to like indoctrinate us. And then we had like the Democrats, you know, the establishment Democrats, like believing the spin and being their own worst enemies and not like trying to like engage us.
Yeah.
So, you know, shame on us.
I think there's a long history of the Democratic establishment just taking the base for granted.
And we're really doing ourselves a disservice at this point. Like, all you have to do is look at the stats, and these are like, you know, everything from your obviously very progressive leaning media all the way to very traditional media. And you've got all these people coming out against him. I mean, like, we have a lot more allies now than we ever have had. And if we, and I say we, you know, kind of quasi we, like I am currently supporting a, you know, a pragmatic progressive, I like to call her, you know, and I sort of like, if I have to have a title, I basically become her communications director. So like, you know, I think that's one thing, but at the same time, we really are, you know, it's important to know we're running both in that and just my life. I run a very people-driven, people-powered campaign and life philosophy. So, you know, I don't really care what people vote. At this point, it's like you know, the sane and the insane, you know? So like, and what's so great is like, I think that if you keep on saying that, then more and more people are coming out of the, you know, out of the closet about that. And they're like, oh my God, like, you know, I'm hearing more and more people like, you know, I actually had somebody the other day, a gentleman that I'm going to be working on with some things that I'll, you know, talk about offline, but he was like, you know, I love the fact that you let me come out like as a Republican, but like a normal Republican, but like, you know, and reintroduce the fact that like Republicans can be like socially open-minded and like even just fiscally moderate. Like we're not nuts. Like we just, you know, we're just a little bit more I guess, analytical, I guess he kind of said, and like we kind of really dissect things a little bit deeper before we like are willing to jump at something. You know, we're a little more risk adverse. But other than that, like, and it's becoming more and more like that. You know what I mean? Like the difference is, so now it's really just a matter of, I think, you know, those of us that really in a positive way are driving a revolution, and the establishment, whether that be Republican or Democratic establishment, you know, we have to get all of our Democratic people, if they want to be leaders, they have to lead, and we have to keep on driving that message like into their heads with a nail gun if need, not obviously joking, but a metaphoric nail gun, like, you know, get up and say something or get out.
Right. I do know that, you know, among independents, because that's so much of where these elections are won or lost among independents. I mean, Trump is down significantly, you know, on whether it's ICE, whether it's the economy. You know, they don't think he's doing a good job on the economy, whether it's, you know, attacking Venezuela and kidnapping their president.
Right. I mean, you can't do things that are anti-law and order and expect people that are, you know, probably even some, I believe even some constitutionalists that are now like, I'm sorry, like this isn't even conservatism. And I think we need to keep driving that message home too. He is not a Republican. He is, honestly, I actually think he's sort of just a puppet for American fascism is really what I think he is at this point. You know, I think even he's being fooled at this point, although he doesn't know it, but like,
yeah,
you know, he's the puppet for Voight and Miller, you know, and then we've got JD Vance, who's the clown in the clown car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're both goons. They're both just, you know, little marionettes that like all of the hardcore fascists put them on strings and get them to dance in front of TV screens because they know they're so deplorable publicly that they can't put themselves in front of the screen. But what they're hoping is that Trump can like get the cult, and that JD Vance can normalize things enough that they can like do a sweep. But it's really, you know, I think they're pushing it. You know, they've stepped out too far.
Yeah. Well, the problem is though, you know, they have a base that is so compliant. I mean, it's, you know, and a lot of these people they're so phony. You know, they talk about freedom and liberty and you know, but then they celebrate when the state that they claim to not trust murders somebody in the street, and then they're excited about it.
But Charlie Kirk was different, you know.
Right.
I mean, someone that like literally his brand was hate is less understandable why someone got, and again, I don't condone violence. I don't at all. Nope. Not to mention, you know, honestly, even from a pragmatic standpoint, it's not even going to work. He's hoping that he lights the right fuse and everything blows up. And the optics are such that, you know, he looks like he's sort of like preserving law and order again, you know? And unfortunately, the American public, especially I think your less informed American public, they're fickle. They're you know, their support is fickle. So if someone gets too radicalized on either side, it's not going to work if it's also with violence. I mean, I think they want strong leaders, but they want succinct leaders, if that makes any sense.
Are you talking about broadly, or are you talking about?
Yeah. So I think the general public right now is in our camp.
Yeah.
Even. I would say that it's almost at the point now where like the only people really supporting Trump, although he wants the numbers to look bigger, but all you have to do is look at the stats. And again, they're across the board. These are nonpartisan, non-biased statisticians of all kinds. Even in some cases, polls they're taking on Fox News and stuff like this. And it's not looking good for him. I mean, nothing is looking good for him.
Yeah.
So I think we need to not do what they do, which is like get too overconfident.
Right.
And be like, oh my God, we're winning. So now we can like turn up the volume so damn loud that anything we do, people will tolerate. Because frankly, that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
And that's what's destroying him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one thing when he was like, quote unquote, like, there's even I even read something on this, like people, the reason why things have shifted is because his methods are not considered American anymore. Like, people still want a strong stance on immigration. but they don't want like masked thugs,
Yeah.
Kidnapping people in these like darkened out vans in the middle of the street. I mean, this is creepy.
Yeah. Well, some people do. I mean, the hardcore MAGA, they love it.
Well, when I say people, I don't count them. Those are not people. These are people that are like brainwashed. If you have anyone in your family, 1-800-SAVE-MAGA, get them therapy. They need it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do. I had one. He passed away, but I had one in my family.
But normal people.
Yeah.
Or healthy people, let me say. I don't want to say abnormal, but unhealthy people that are angry and sick and truly genuinely need help.
Yeah.
That's the only body he's attractive to at this point. Or if you happen to be one of the people that got the MAGA lottery ticket and you're somehow making money off this. But that's it.
Right.
Those are the only two groups now.
Something that was on my mind recently, because I said they're so phony. I don't know if you know this about me. We might have talked about it on the show, but years ago I was a co-host on a show called Rock Paper Hand Grenades.
Yeah.
And it was hosted by a conservative Republican, Gary S. Hopper, who has passed away. And, Gary and I disagreed on most things, but we would have great conversations both on air and off.
Yeah.
And that was why I did the show for so long, mainly because I really enjoyed hanging out with Gary and I met a lot of interesting people. But during that period, so this would have been like around 2010, 2011, maybe earlier at time. It all becomes a blur. But a lot of the people that we would have on the show, a lot of Republicans and libertarians, they would come on and something they were very concerned about. This was a consistent theme among these people. They were really concerned about the police overstepping. They were concerned about law enforcement. They were concerned about government infringing upon your rights. Of course, they didn't like illegal immigration, but they also would not have, based on their rhetoric, they would not have approved of the state. Certainly under Obama, they would not have approved of the state, sending in masked thugs and, beating people and shooting people in the face and all that. They would never have approved of any of that. Now, of course, fast forward to today, and these same people, I see them on social media, they love it.
Okay.
They love seeing ICE being heavy-handed, and they don't necessarily celebrate what happened to Renee Nicole Good, but they kind of gloat about it. They love it. I mean, but it's
to be fair, guilty. There's definitely a list of people that if some of them were Kirks, I wouldn't lose any sleep over. But I'm not going to go out and encourage it either. It's like, kind of like, to me, it's like, it's the perfect storm, right? You have to like be honest with yourself. Like with every reaction, there's an equal and with every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And like, you can only, I guess I'm just going to talk in cliches for a second. You can only poke the bear so much without like it eventually biting you. And so whether that's a right-leaning bear or a left-leaning bear, if you're going to just constantly like taunt, attack, push something into a wall, give it no way to back up, it's going to bite. And it's not about like, do you approve of the biting? Do you not approve of the biting? Should it have bit less hard? No, it's just reality. And we have to start living in reality. Like, and we also have to call the people out. Like, the thing is with, as I like to say all the time, with great power comes great responsibility. So if you're in a position of power, that's bullshit that you're not supposed to be turning down the rhetoric. You are, because you're a leader. Like if some kid that is like a college protester goes a little off kilter, he's a college kid. Right. He's not a world leader. Right. You are held to a higher standard as a world leader. I am sorry. And if you have a problem with that, don't be a world leader. Like as the head of administration, or an agency, you are held to a higher standard. Even myself, I am held to a higher standard.
Sure.
I am at this point a political mouthpiece. I am, a opinion leader. I do not have a right. If I go out in the right crowd or the wrong crowd, it would be, and say, guys, go out there, find whatever ICE agent you can and beat the living shit out of him. There were probably people that would listen if I said it enough. And that is irresponsible of me. So I don't have a right to do that.
Yeah.
And, but I also am not going to be the, safety valve anymore for the Republicans, like, or the MAGA Republicans. Like they have to get their own party in line. It is not my job to put their party in line. And it's also not my job to clutch my pearls and dismiss reality. when things backfire. I
Mhm.
mean, you know, like, give yourself a bigger fuse, my friend. Like, don't give such a damn short fuse. Keep on lighting the explosive and not eventually expect it to blow up in your face. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we have to look at this from a perspective. And I can only theorize, because even as a gay man, the level of persecution and prosecution as an educated gay man from living on the East Coast in like hyper progressive areas, even at their worst, were nothing like, let's say, like, the Bible Belt Deep South. So I cannot claim to understand that equivalent.
Right.
But I can theorize and certainly have sympathy for a group of people that are told to comply with a group that, frankly, I'm sure some of them at this point are worried about if they get in that van, they might not live.
Right.
Like, I think that's a real true. So how do we expect these people to choose compliance or to not fight? I mean, if someone's going to like break open my car and kill me, I don't care what badge they have on them. I'm not going to cooperate. I mean, that's just survival.
Right.
I don't understand. It's not a dysfunction of law and order. It's like it would be like, getting mad at the French resistance for going after the Nazis. Like, there is a point.
Right.
And they're getting us to that point, dangerously so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're also not supposed to be doing that anyway.
No, I mean, they're waging war on their own people. And that is why I want to say publicly, too, I'm going to say it again. He is not my president. I completely disavow his presidency publicly. I do not. The only reason why I will follow any of the things he follows is because, frankly, I want to be effective and I don't want to end up in prison, because I will not do any good for people in prison. But as far as like, following his laws just because he says it, because he's has some moral high ground, he's deplorable. Like, and I don't, that is not a leader to me. So I do not subscribe to his leadership.
No. So should we now? You had mentioned regarding Sarah's campaign. So the campaign has come out saying abolish ICE. Is that the?
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, absolutely. So abolish ICE, because it's interesting. Abolish ICE as it stands right now. There is a difference between abolishing ICE and abolishing the immigration enforcement. We could go.
You definitely want to clarify that, because you don't want to fall into the what is it? Defund the police trap.
Right.
Democrats fell into before. Yeah.
No. So this is a matter of make them accountable. Yes, abolish their leadership, because these people are basically mafia dons. And yes, arrest these people. Like, I'm sorry. I've been told by many military people, you're not protected to break the law just because a general tells you to break the law.
Right.
So the ones that are practicing, domestic terrorism, the ones that are breaking into people's homes without, the right, oh my God, warrants.
Yeah.
The ones that are like doing property damage, like smashing in car windows to get at people. There's a process. I mean, even if these people are, what kind of policeman are you if you can't detain the person you're after without like breaking laws?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Police have enforced the law forever. And there's the vast majority of them, at least in the United States, don't do so by breaking the laws.
Mm-hmm.
And when they break the laws, there's consequences until now.
Yeah.
So, nobody is asking anything other than these people to, be responsible for the power they've been given and set examples and behave the way they need to behave. So I think that in this moment, the reason why we're saying abolish it is because it has to be abolished and reworked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is so broken. Like, you can't hold something together that like literally is hemorrhaging and all of its like, accelerants are leaking all over the floor, and just take one piece of putty and expect it to like, hold together this thing that is like, it's in pieces. It's a disaster.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So, and I think Sarah comes out and says that because nobody else is willing to.
Right.
And I'll tell you this, I've now had several conversations recently where I've had people that consider themselves moderate, not even like liberal Republicans, moderate Republicans say to me, look, I would much rather have a conversation with someone that is, like myself, a self-proclaimed social democrat, progressive, who is willing to still use pragmatism. And we could even disagree on the whole process and everything. And I feel like the value of our conversation is going to be much better. And we're going to come to a better place than someone that like is a MAGA Republican and maybe like in theory, at least the spin is that we have similar values, or at least they're pretending to have similar values to me. But because I cannot trust them, I cannot have a valid conversation with them.
Right.
And furthermore, they're using them as scapegoats. What they're doing is they're taking these people. I've had so many people say to me, like, and Sarah has it all the time. We have Republicans and independents say to us, thank you. Thank you for not demonizing us. Thank you for not like making everybody think we are the enemy. Thank you for making that division and that separation from us and MAGA. We actually, not only do we celebrate this, we support you and we'll openly support you because you guys are willing to do it.
It's always difficult though to make that separation because people tend to not like to criticize their own, and this transcends politics.
Yeah, but these people are not their own, and that's what I'm seeing, and that's what I love about this. Like I'm telling you, like even that guy on there was a guy just today in the Washington Post, and he's like, I don't know, he's a super conservative, like a really conservative. I hate to use the term super conservative now because you're right. We have to be careful because that is affiliated with MAGA automatically. But when I mean conservative, I just mean like old school conservative, and he's an old school conservative, and he's like, what is going on right now is not okay.
Right. Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
And so I think as their opinion leaders start to say that more and more publicly, and this, and even their journalists are like openly like, not seek hell, but like, this is not cool. Like I'm conservative and that's why I fight the Nazis, not join the Nazis.
Right. Right.
I think that, hey, look, that's the great part about mob mentality. It's like at least the community as a whole is moving in that direction.
It's hard though for me to even trust, and I'm thinking of our governor when I say this because
she's a Nazi.
Because Kelly Ayotte, well, I'm not going to say that, but
she's a Nazi sympathizer. Remember the like French that like would let the Nazis into their cities? That's what she is.
Well, the thing is, so, Kelly Ayotte, as well, remember she exited politics at one point for a little bit because she didn't want the stink of Trump on her.
Right.
I mean, she never came right out and said that, although I think she hinted at it at the time.
Well, she's a liar.
And now she's now she's on board.
Yeah.
And now and she is a liar because they're building an ICE facility here in New Hampshire.
Correct.
And she says publicly, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Nobody's told me anything about it.
How does she not know anything about it? We protested it and there are about 2,000 people there. Does she not watch the news?
Yeah, clearly she knows. Jenny and I know someone who lives in Merrimack who has, sees the new road that they built and
it's that far along.
They've been building a facility and it's got no windows in it and it's
lovely,
big warehouse and but they've been doing it in a very clandestine way.
Of course,
because they're not building the mall that they want people to know about for when it opens. And Kelly Ayotte, our governor, she just lies.
She probably makes money off it. It wouldn't surprise me if we dug deeper and found that she's not making some sort of like profit off this.
Right. I don't know.
I mean, I don't. So honestly, at best, Kelly Ayotte is like a Snoop Dogg who's like willing to like bend to the knee for financial wealth accumulation, which to me is it's honestly just as slimy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kelly Ayotte can go with the rest of them. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, add her to the list of, people that need to go to the Hague. Like and she's damaging this state. And she's not doing anything in the interest of this state.
It's disappointing to me too, because she's someone who I had at one time regarded as, one of the smart ones, one of the, a sort of a centrist northeastern Republican ideologically, the kind of Republican who doesn't completely terrify me.
Yeah.
But you
were lied to, Matt, don't you? You were lied to the whole entire time. Look at her. Yeah. Look at her voting record.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But, much like, Chris Sununu, he's another one, and I voted for him a couple times. But then he disappointed me. He was very, he opposed Trump, in the last election, right up to the moment that it became inconvenient for him to continue to do so, and then he got right on the Trump train.
And what is so ridiculous is that these people really are preservists of the Republican Party. If they got like, I don't know, 20 of them, wouldn't even take that many, like together and collectively stuck with their, I'm sure they'll love the saying their guns.
Yeah.
And we're like, defended things. And we're like, yeah, we want, we're hardcore Republicans and we're conservative, but we don't want it done by like breaking up the Constitution and like, delegitimizing the Congress. Like, that is not what is acceptable.
Right.
That is not the process.
Right.
And we certainly don't want big government. So, if they had the balls to say that.
Yeah. Although I think Republicans generally are dishonest when they talk about how they don't like big government. They love big government just as much as anybody else.
Everybody loves big government when it's big government in your favor.
Well,
exactly. I'll admit that.
Exactly.
What am I going to go do? Protest social programs that help people that I care about? Let's face it. What we want is an ethical, moral, and responsible government. All of us want that, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I mean, I've admittedly become like, like I said, I still am far too much into like, entrepreneurship and things like this. And I like my creature comforts a little too much to like, I have to like, it's all, it's all nuances, but like, okay, so my New Year's resolution is that I am now admittedly a social democrat, not a Democrat socialist, but a social democrat. And there is a difference. It really just means on which way you lean a little more.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's like a moderate, a centrist Democrat or a liberal, it's kind of that whole thing.
Yeah. Well, a Democrat who's also a capitalist.
Right.
Maybe that, which is what I am. I mean, I'm a capitalist. Although, of course, we live in a time too where people like to say, well, you can either be a capitalist or a socialist. You got to make a choice, which drives me insane because you don't have to make a choice. They coexist quite well, in fact.
I mean, I think you can be in free markets, but not. I mean, I guess it's all whatever. It's all semantics. Like,
yeah,
the actual theory of capitalism is like very classist and very racist and all of these things. If you say you believe in like Americanized capitalism or what it was supposed to be, or capitalism within a democracy.
Yeah.
So you believe in like a capitalistic democracy, basically.
Yeah. I believe in capitalism that has to be regulated by the government. It has to be.
It's all just semantics anyway, at this point. It's all words.
Yeah. But then, because people will say, well, Matt, you're a socialist. And I say, well, I am a socialist and I'm a capitalist. I'm both, because guess what? America is both. We always have been. We always will be. We can argue about the mixture. Do you want more government regulation or less? Do you want more free markets or less? What do you want? And we should have those conversations. But we've always had, it just drives me nuts.
But I also think it depends on the time, right? So it's like, at some point, in order to get a cause across, I can use activism as an example. In the beginning, you metaphorically blow shit up and you want to cause a lot of like, chaos in the sense that like, a lot of like noise and a lot of attention to that thing. And then once you start to gain a smart organization or a smart cause, once they start to gain, traction, and once they start to gain public support, then it's the nature of the beast. You have to slightly temper it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, it's like people are risk adverse to some extent. People like to remain comfortable. I mean, I am not. I'm crazy. I love. It's like if something's burning, I'm just like figuring out what suit do I have to wear to jump in that fire. Like, so a little better than some. I mean, some are like, oh, it's burning, I'm jumping in the fire, be gone with the fire retardant suit. I'm putting on a fire retardant suit, but I'm still jumping in.
Right. Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that, but you have to be honest with yourself even about that. It's like, not everybody is going to put on the fire retardant suit and jump in, and that's okay. As a matter of fact, it'd be too damn crowded in that burning building if we all try to get in there.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I say. My new thing is like, you don't have to do everything, but do something, and do whatever is capable in your place that you're in life.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I think people get overwhelmed.
They do. And I don't blame them, because even I get overwhelmed sometimes. Like I play the most like benign silly. It's like one tier above Candy Crush. Like I sit and I move these unicorns together to like create bigger unicorns and stuff like or, no dragons. I'm sorry, dragons.
Oh, okay.
Dragon merge. I mean, this is what I do, and I am like very much like well above that intellectually. But honestly, sometimes I need an escape and a brainless escape. Like there's nothing threatening about that game.
That's
literally nothing.
It's
It's called Dragon Merge. And they don't even you're dealing with dragons that don't even hurt each other. Like these are like peaceful dragons. Like how can you you know, and like everything's a reward. It's not even a risk system. Like even the goblins like don't do that much to you. Like, you know, you lose a turn kind of thing. It's like Candyland.
Okay. All right. Oh, interesting.
You know, hey, this is not it's an example. I'm just saying like whatever that is. And I do other things too. Like I go and I walk my dog and I do these other things. But I do unplug now and I didn't used to.
Okay.
You have to because I was becoming like honestly, and it's also what radicalizes you, I think, when you don't unplug. You just like start like feeding into the frenzy.
Yeah.
And especially if you're someone that like I would definitely in my heart call myself like an Avenger, but like this isn't the days of like medieval days where you like get on your horse and ride and attack the enemy like that. It's not quite the same, you know. You do it with, you know, it's an information war and it's a, you know, it's a image war and these types of things. It's not a war with like blood and bullets, you know. And so it's propaganda war, really. Honestly, it's like an information war and a messaging war. And but I think it's very easy because it's so like the consequences right now that are going on, especially because he wants to do that because that's his whole thing, flood the zone.
Yes.
I've gotten flooded. I mean, even though, and that's scary because I know what's going on. I should know better, but I'm still getting flooded when I don't know enough to like, you know, swim up to the surface, take a breath.
Well, at a certain point too, it just seems so surreal. I mean, you know, looking at the news.
It is surreal. It is surreal. I mean, have you ever in your life thought you could like pull out excerpts of 1984? Never mind Nazism. Like pull out excerpts of 1984 and go, you know what? I bet they use this as a reference point.
Right.
I mean, it's scary.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, and we're, as we sit here today, you know, we might be, I mean, it looks like he's probably going to declare martial law in Minneapolis. He's sending troops there.
Oh, is he? But you know why? And this is what I think, and this is where I also have rethought this strategy. So I agree with Waltz and the mayor. I think he should bring out the National Guard, but let me tell you why. Because that is a game of chicken. And what he should do is he should bring them out in full force. And he should dare Trump to dare his people to do something violent to these National Guard. Dare them.
Yeah.
Because they will lose either way. If they are shooting at soldiers, basically that is Trump unofficially declaring certainly civil war-like activities. That's certainly insurrection, and that's insurrection on with the person in power.
Right.
Like this is not a country where you turn against your citizens.
Well, I mean, yeah, but MAGA's okay. I mean, MAGA would be salivating over that.
There's not enough MAGA anymore. This is not their country.
I think
they need to realize this.
I think there's still too many of them.
Well, yes, Matt, I understand, but this is not their country.
Yeah.
They can go to other countries. There are countries that operate like this.
Yeah.
That is not what the United States was built on.
Yeah.
Go to Russia and then talk to Putin and see if he likes your ideas. Yeah. And when you go, hope to God you have a value to him because he will take your ideas and put you in a prison camp.
Yeah. I think a lot of MAGA too. I think they feel emboldened by, you know, seeing Trump pardon everybody from January 6th. And it's just like, yeah, we can do whatever we want.
Let me tell you another secret about those pardons. All we have to do is get them on breaking state laws.
Yeah.
And they are. And then we can throw them back in prison and Trump can't do a damn thing about it. And they're also, I don't think they realize that in some ways we've learned from the Trump game and we are not going to be afraid this time to make altercations to the Constitution. We're not going to be afraid to do the kinds of things that were done after World War II to establish like real balance back in the system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if that is what has to be done, it's what has to be done. Like, you know, if we have to quiet things We have to get people talking. And if the way to remove that is to remove, the bait, then we'll have to remove the bait. Like, and I don't mean like go out and do the shit they're doing, but I mean,
of course,
if we have to reverse some of the things the Supreme Court has done because it's unconstitutional, which it is, especially where we have the evidence, they were bribed to do it. I mean, all of the people that did it were literally paid bribes. So there is nothing illegal, and frankly, there's nothing unconstitutional with, disbarring Supreme Court justices that broke the freaking law.
Yeah. Now, what else? I mean, as far as issues that Sarah has been talking about, I mean, what are, because you did mention too, and it texted me, she had just been on Channel 9. Is that correct?
Yeah. So that was the abolishment thing. So we really came out and said that. So I think what we've been told by a lot of people is they'd rather you go out and say, I'm going to abolish it, and then like sit in a room. And basically in that way, they want us to raise the bar. Like, okay, we're threatening abolishment. Yeah. So now in a way, we're doing what Republicans do, right? So we're threatening abolishment. Let's say we win in 2026. We have the numbers to do it. Then they'll get in the room and talk to us.
Right.
But if we go in and say, well, we're talking about reorganization.
Yeah.
We're just feeding them what they already want to be fed. And we're giving them a get out of jail free card. They don't deserve that this time.
That makes sense. You may have convinced me actually, because I was a little bit worried about that.
No, me too. I get it. I get it. Yeah. I mean, like, we're not trying to like induce anarchy in the streets. And
like I said, I didn't want you to fall into the defund the police trap.
It's not about defunding. It's about basically saying like,
no, I know.
It's like this.
But people took it wrong. You know what I mean?
Right. Which is why we're not saying defunding.
Right. Yeah.
But like reorganizing is not strong enough. I agree. Restructuring is not strong enough. Like, so I heard today that, I don't know if people know this, ICE has the largest number of personnel and the largest number, or DHS, all of it, and the largest number of resources of any other agency other than the Department of what they now call War.
I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me because I know ICE has been hiring a lot of people.
So it's another extension of war.
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, this is internal war.
Yeah.
And, truth be known, it's like, the liberals declared war. No, they declared war on everybody that didn't think like them. And we're just saying you have to resist. Mm-hmm. Like, this is not someplace I wanted to be. I've never wished ill will or like even probably, the forceful removal of a president.
Right.
And I want us to have courts and do that this time. Because like this man is a criminal. He's not a president. I mean, David Muir got on national TV and said, Mr. President, you say you want to be in the White House. You really should be in prison.
Who said that? David Gergen?
David Muir.
Oh, David Muir. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he's been pretty like low key, but like he's just had it.
Yeah.
People have just had it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. And maybe this is part of my cynicism because I it just seems like they get away with everything. I mean,
it does. Like that's also the game.
Nothing ever sticks. Like how many times over the course of this administration and his first term, did people say, "Oh, this is going to do him in. This is going to do him in." And nothing seems. And now it kind of doesn't even matter because he's just running out the clock anyway. He's almost 80. I mean, he's gonna, not to be indelicate about it, but he's gonna die probably soon.
Be indelicate. I want him to die soon. I know. Yeah. I do. I absolutely do. Like he's a cancer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's doing nothing healthy for this country.
I think his father lived to be 90, didn't he?
He's already like delirious. He's already like, it's like standing up. He's like, honestly, he sounds crazier than Kim Jong-un at this point. Like who the hell has their like half their country falling apart? And what you decide to do instead is hold a press conference for the Milk Association and babble on about milk for a half hour and talk about how you shouldn't drink 5-hour-old milk 5-day-old milk sitting on your desk. Like, how is this even pertinent?
Right. Yeah.
And then you have a bunch of goons around you going like, I know, Mr. Trump, you shouldn't do that with milk. I mean, where are we? This is ridiculous.
Did you hear what he said about aspirin? He's taking way more aspirin than he should be. Against doctor's orders because he wants nice thin blood pouring through his heart, which is not how it works. He may
watch out for jumping snakes. That's the other thing he likes to talk about. Jumping vipers, jumping snakes. Like, and even if they spill their venom on you, if you get it on your coat, somehow I guess it absorbs into your pores. I don't know. He didn't come up with a reason, but you can die. And by the way, 28,000 people supposedly have died in a year from these vipers, when in reality, there's only been in the same area, there's only been 10 deaths in the last 20 years. But, you know, somehow this equals 28,000. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's MAGA math.
Oh, yeah. Well, he just makes it up. He just makes it up as he goes.
It's just like today, Noam got on the air and she said, I like it when they fight against their own stats. So like, she was like belligerently on Meet the Press, and she was screaming about how it was so unfair that the media was spreading these falsehoods because they weren't being honest with the public. About 70% of the people that they have kidnapped are like violent criminals. And the woman on Meet the Press is like, you know, the pundit is like, you said very recently on official, you know, stats, it was like 40 something, which we also, you know, my understanding is that's not even true. But, and she goes, no, I never said that. It was 70,000. You guys. And then she like backtracks and goes, well, actually, they're all breaking the law. They're here illegally. It's all a law. They're all breaking it. And then she was trying to nail her down, you know. How many people do you have to kidnap? Basically, she didn't say that, to be fair. And I'm kind of glad she did this. Not my favorite, but just so everybody knows, for the most part, boycott CBS. The Ellisons are evil. Like, they're horrible people. They're super pro MAGA, and they're getting rich off MAGA. They're one of the small percentages getting rich off MAGA. So, and
that's
they put
Barry
on,
Weiss was there.
Yep. And they put on a new, so it's like Foxlight, and they put on a new anchor person who likes to, you know,
that guy.
decal all of the administration members, like, you know, a shout out to Rubio and all this other crap.
Yeah.
So, you know, boycott them.
Yep.
So anyway, but yeah, I think they're getting caught in their own lies. Yeah. Like, they don't even understand the art of lying. Like, it's lying. It's not propaganda. They don't get propaganda. And they have, like, you know, I think Miller has propaganda for them, but they're all such narcissists too, that they all fight about who's going to deliver the message, how the message is going to be delivered. They're all crazy. Like, so I think that they've done a thing, and this was a prediction that they were going to self-implode. And I do believe that's what's going to happen.
I hope so. I know
you're always like, I hope so.
I know. Well, because
it has to be the case, Matt, because if it doesn't happen, this country is done.
I know, but so many times it's like, oh, this is going to do them in. Oh, this is going to do them in.
So you think an entire nation's going to lay down and let another, like, Nazi Germany happen?
Well, no, but it doesn't take a whole nation. It only takes enough. It only takes enough people.
But they're losing numbers, not gaining.
Yeah, I hope so.
You have to, like, do the hope thing. You do.
Yeah,
and let me tell you, Matt.
And I am an optimist by nature, but I'm so discouraged.
I'm educated in propaganda. Let me my degrees, but I'm saying, like, no, all jokes aside, but seriously, my degree's in public relations. So let me tell you, like, you know, the temperature, like, if you make people, if we just constantly tell people and just constantly, like, broadcast the success stories, it will become, you know, contagious.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing happened like a virus. The opposite can happen.
Yeah. It can. No, it can.
And we just all have to believe it and all say it.
Yeah.
And on the days where you feel like you can't believe it, then that's when you breathe. That's when you take a breath and check out.
Yeah.
Because that is what we owe the world. We do. We have a voice. We have a podium. And, you know, even when I'm feeling crappy, and if I'm not feeling hopeless anymore, but on the days where I do feel hopeless, I'm not going to do a disservice to this country and get on the air and talk about how hopeless I am, because that's not what people are looking for.
Right. No, I agree with you. And I am optimistic about the midterms. And obviously, I mean, history is on our side with that anyway, because, you know, a two-term president always loses in the midterms. And
people have to realize that, and even I forgot this too, because again, they flood the zone. You know, they're good for a hot minute. of like hitting your nerves and upsetting you and scaring you. They're good at fear tactics, but it's like very quick fear tactics.
Yeah.
They're not good at like long-term like propaganda machines.
Yeah.
Because you also can't have like, if you look at Goebbels, if you look at Himmler, like they were very strategic and they didn't give everybody the same message, and they didn't get on podiums and loudly call for like the destruction of people until they were already destroying them.
Right.
Like, I mean, hardcore destroying them, not like, you know, they didn't brag. I don't even know if they ever did. I'd have to look into it. I don't even know if they ever, admittedly, did they ever like get on and like admit to the concentration camps? I don't think they did.
I don't think they did.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. These fools brag about it. These fools stand in front of it with Rolex watches and do little dances.
Well, except for Kelly Ayotte. She pretends she doesn't know what's happening.
Kelly Ayotte, we have your number, honey. Like nobody likes you.
Yeah. We see you, Governor. We see you.
Yeah. Get out, governor. Get out of office, honey.
Boy. Yeah.
You know, and I think it's also important though, but we also have to be realistic, and we have to like make the change where we can make the change, right? Like I think we're going to a lot more further, because the other thing I don't want is a blue wave that's like stagnant, a stagnant puddle, which is what we have right now. Like, you know, I'm going to say something, you know, that maybe isn't so great and so popular, but this is my opinion. No one else's.
Yeah.
And not Sarah's. But like Shaheen needs to get off her butt and like leave a legacy that's actually worth leaving. Like her, like that stupid article she put out about how like, oh, I've made sure that I've like upped the salaries of law enforcement. Well, first off, bad optics, honey. Like this is not the time.
Right.
And like, second off, like stand up for something. Like you are about to leave. And yes, I will not deny that Jeanne Shaheen has not done some good things in her tenure. But like she's honestly, her track record right now is abysmal. Like she, you know, who is on their way out? This is when you have a chance to really leave a great and lasting legacy. Pelosi got more fiery on her way out. What you're gonna go sit in a rocking chair on your way out, honey? Then go sit in the rocking chair. Like, don't waste our time anymore.
I wonder if we've entered a time when just politicians are not concerned about legacy in the way that they were at one time.
That's fine. Then replace them. It's not about legacy then. Politicians have to understand they are basically glorified social workers. That's really what you are.
Yeah.
I'm like, part of what I'm doing, like this podcast thing that we're working on, this is for like, you know, ultimately, I mean, it's for a pulpit, but it's also, this is where I'll hopefully, you know, generate personal wealth, whatever it is, you know, like, or more personal wealth or whatever. Like there is a profit, like, you know, factor to this.
Again, we are capitalists.
Right. And I'm an entertain, and I like to entertain.
Yeah. Me too.
But
yeah.
Entertain responsibly. But anyway, but the political work I do and the activism I do, I don't do for anything other than the fact that I truly believe in it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I believe in this too. I just so happen to know how to capitalize on what I believe in. But what I'm saying is like all the volunteer work I do, I genuinely do to volunteer. Like I don't have to do any of it.
Right. Of course.
Is my point.
Yeah.
So what politicians have to realize is that, like, you know, you really were voted in for the people and by the people. So, okay, fine. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say that, like, you know, as Republicans, maybe the tide was a little pro-Trump. So initially you did things that were pro-Trump. Okay, fine. You think that's what your constituents wanted. That's fine. But now they don't want it. So now you need to switch gears, even as Republicans, because these are your people. So if you indeed truly, which I don't believe you're there for, but if you're telling us you're there because you are going to do what's right by your voters, then do what's right by your voters, because they're telling you enough is enough. So your job is to throw the brakes on, because they can't directly. And that is your job.
Right. No, well said. Very well said.
Just like it's the Democrats' job to step on the gas.
Yeah.
You know, like the two of you have jobs and you're doing the opposite of what you're doing. Republicans, put it on cruise control, start to like look at some changes, start to get back to talking to your Democratic at one point friends, and like start doing the work. Democrats, start doing the work, start looking like a bobblehead and stop shaking your head to everything everybody says. Stop worrying about your job, because I will guarantee you will not have a job if you keep doing the crap you're doing. We will vote you out one way or another.
Well, yeah, we've talked about that too on the show in the past about how, it's the establishment, and this happens on both sides
But
of the
I'm using my pulpit now to lead the charge. I mean, I really am. Like, even people that I'm willing to, and don't get me wrong, there are people in the quote unquote establishment, but they're more junior.
Yeah.
Like, I love Goodlander. I think Goodlander's doing a great job. I think, is she perfect? No, but none of us are. And I think she's doing pretty damn good in a pretty damn imperfect environment.
Right.
With a lot of people trying to pull her in directions that I know her personally. And, I will still stand for her. Like, I'll still go to the line for her because she's a great person. I think her heart is where it needs to be. She's not voted in certain ways that I didn't like, but
sure.
But she's willing to go back on those things too. That's the other thing. She's willing to assess those votes and admit things. The Lincoln Riley thing, she's now walked back. Pappas, we'll have to see where that goes, but he's willing to walk some things back.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not horrible. He's not atrocious.
No.
There's some things I wish he'd change. I think he's workable. I think it's a workable situation.
Okay.
And I think Goodlander's even more than a workable situation. I think Goodlander really is just a junior congresswoman who unfortunately has to play the game.
Yeah,
I mean, if you pull an AOC and you burn your bridge too much, then you have to rebuild it completely. And poor AOC had to do that. I think she had some amazing ideas, but you can't go in fighting so much. You can't go into a bare knuckle brawl with the head of power. And that's what she did. And that's what she did.
Yeah.
And she got smacked down.
Yeah.
And whether it's fair or not, she did. And that's just the reality.
Yeah.
So you do have to, you can't go in and try to topple the system by pulling down the power structure day one.
Right. Yeah, that is true. Absolutely. I agree. Well, we're coming up on an hour, Todd. Should we start to wind?
Yeah, I do want to let people know a few wins. I think it's important to let that know. So first off, I think, let's also, with the icing, I think we can, in our own way here in New Hampshire, it's all it used to be think globally, act locally. This is think nationally, act globally. Act locally.
Yeah.
So ICE is coming. We have to stop them from coming. We have a chance right now to stop them before we're in a situation like some of these other, these cities are in.
Yeah.
We don't want them to establish the concentration camp. There are ways to do it. I think that we can explore things like, are they going to tax the utilities too much? You know what I mean? I think the one win would be the sewer system, because if we go with electricity, here's something to think about. I've thought this all through. If our argument is electricity, then they can turn around and say, well, look at the Anheuser-Busch department. They used a lot of electricity and Merrimack did fine. Okay, that's true. If we go with water, same argument. There's a lot of water in distilleries. But if we go with sewerage, there was not that many people crapping at the plant. And they want to put 1,000 people in detention. This is not going to be a small plant. And basically it's a concentration camp. It's a quasi concentration camp. It's the entry level version. I'm also not a conspiracy theorist. So I don't believe there's it's not a death camp, directly, but it's deplorable conditions. It's definitely Abu Ghraib level, or Abu Dab or whatever the hell that place was. Yeah, Abu Ghraib or Guantanamo Bay-esque. It really is. Yeah. And if it isn't yet, that's where they want it to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that, and also the ACLU, just New Hampshire, has a pending lawsuit because ICE would not divulge the documents they were supposed to divulge. They promised they would divulge. So we're going to win in small increments, but these small things really caused a lot of wedge and really disrupt things. And especially at the build-up phase, which is where they're at, we're not trying to tear down a building that already exists.
Right.
They haven't built it. So this is when we stop it. You don't wait until it's this menacing thing, bellowing in the distance, and then go, now it's time to all stand in front and wave signs. You got to stop it before it's built.
By the way, we do have a question from someone watching us live on Twitch.
Awesome.
Let's see if I can say this. Apple Flappable. I'm sure I butchered that, and I apologize. What's your opinion on the Greenland situation?
Apple Flappaboli or something. Apple Flappable. I don't know.
Apple Flappable? Apple flappable. Sounds like something you'd order at a restaurant. Greenland. Well, the only reason there's a situation is because Trump has made it one. I mean, it's
imperialism. That's my opinion. This is imperialism. Trump is an egotist. Europe didn't kiss his butt enough.
Mhm.
And so he likes to punish everybody. Everything's a punishment thing with him. And he's like, he can't handle it. Like, this is how they handle it. Okay.
It's a Dutch
Oh, nice.
food.
Love it.
Apple is good enough. Okay, good.
I do love
Apple.
Dutch apple streusel pie. Does that count?
There you go. Yeah, I think, by the way, there is one thing about that Trump says that may have some credence to it. He talks about that.
I'm holding my pearls now.
Well, he talks about national security, how Greenland is important to us for national security reasons because of where it sits geographically in terms of Russia and everything.
Okay, that's true.
That is, and I've read about that. But the thing is, there's no, like, they're already our ally. They're already a part of NATO. So so why do we need to take it over?
Also, we already have we have the largest military presence of any other nation on Greenland already.
Right.
So they're basically, if what we want to do is play police, we're policing it.
Yeah, we're already there.
Like, I don't understand. So I think honestly, this literally is like someone told him he can't buy it, so he's insisting he's going to buy it.
Well, the other possibility too is that this is a backdoor to ending NATO, because if we invade Greenland, it'll be one NATO country invading another. Now that's it. That's the end of NATO, or at least the end of our participation.
He's not going to end NATO though, because he's going to crash the economy. He's going to crash the world economy if he tries to end NATO.
I don't think he cares. I mean, that's a Republican fantasy, ending NATO. They would love that. They don't like us to have allies. They don't.
Not business Republicans, though. Not the people.
No, not the smart ones, but I mean the rest of them.
But you need the business Republicans to fuel these things. So, like, if the market turns against you in a basically capitalist society,
yeah,
and the whole world is a level of capitalism, even the ones that say otherwise.
I don't think Trump cares though about consequences.
I don't care what Trump thinks. I'm saying he can't. It takes money to do world dominance.
Yeah.
He's not going to get the funding. There's no benefit.
Right. But as far as what business Republicans think, I don't think Trump cares, because otherwise he wouldn't do the tariff.
Well, a lot of them are against him anyway, more than he pretends. He pretends like, like there's actually at this point more stockbrokers and people like that dislike him than like him. Like, he's got like a handful of loud people that love him.
We have another comment too. Somebody's watching on YouTube. Skiz1313 says this is just him and Putin splitting the world 50-50. Maybe. True,
Skiz, except here's the problem. He is, this is we're going to go back to my Pinocchio analogy, right? Like this is the land of wherever the boys used to go, what were they called? I can't remember the exact thing, but like the Lost Boys or whatever they were. But like he brings all those kids, to the island, and they all get to play and eat candy and do all of that. And then all of a sudden they all turn to donkeys. That's Putin's plan. Like Putin is Hitler, basically. I mean, Putin really, I'd be more afraid if Putin was leading this country, because that man has no limits.
Right. Yeah.
And he's scary. And he's effective.
Yeah.
He'll just puppet Trump. So Trump is stupid to get in bed with Putin.
All right. Well, that's a terrible visual.
What's a terrible visual? Oh, yeah.
In bed with Putin. I've certainly seen some political cartoons, though.
Well, doesn't Putin have all these all this? It's probably all doctored, but like all of these images with him being Herculean.
Yes,
doesn't he?
Those aren't no, those are.
Oh, they're not.
Yeah.
Oh,
him like winning judo tournaments and.
Do you think Trump? Do you think there's going to be? I feel like, I mean, not that there'd be a contest, but I feel like if there was talk about a sword match. We all know that Trump is not endowed. That's pretty much been substantiated, and I'm sure the impression would be that at least Putin wants you to think he is, but also to beat Trump it wouldn't take very much. So that would be interesting. Like that alone would probably. These men are so insecure.
Skiz said he is already grabbing his Putin. Yes.
Yeah.
Apple said, but the thing that I don't understand is why is Trump following Putin's vision? What's in it for him?
Ego. Trump is one of these people that, I hate to say anything negative about cats because I love cats, but he's like, they follow the shiny laser pointer. In a way, that's what Trump is. And, as long as that laser pointer says a Trump laser pointer, he follows it. He loves it. Like he's his own worst enemy. He's addicted to his own narcissism. This man, he's a showman, but like, even at that, he becomes an ineffective showman because like no show is big enough and you can't keep on wrecking your own show to build a better show because eventually there's no show left. And that's what he does. Like, and he's surrounded by other people. Like he didn't really get the lockstep people he wanted because like they are, but they're not. I mean, Vance is a big puppy dog.
Oh yeah.
But like Vance is definitely like, like the BDSM, he's Trump's gimp. But you might as well walk Vance around on a leash. But like all of the people under them, those people are truly maniacal. I mean, if you read 2025, it's literally the Mein Kampf of this generation. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen.
Right.
And something else, and this I want to leave people with, the thing that we have, the one good thing the Holocaust did for us is it existed. And what I mean by that is this. We now have a reference point. So we can recognize and we can identify like concentration camps, these types of things, what Gestapo looks like, what all these things look like, because we've seen it before.
Right.
If we were back in those days and didn't have social media, that's how that worked. And we need to all remember that. There was no social media. There were no checks and balances. You could put, how the hell could you build a concentration camp and hide it from the public in this day and age?
Right.
It wouldn't happen. Someone would stumble across it. Even if it was in the most remote area of the world, someone would stumble across it. It's impossible now.
I assume this is a reference to JD Vance. Skiz said, kick that dog off the couch. He's humping it.
Yeah, you never want the dog humping legs. It's always very rude. So.
Yeah. Well, on that note.
All right. Well, it's okay. We promised to be like a different brand, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I said I wanted to be a little bit.
Absolutely.
If we're organically a little crass, that's okay.
I love it. I'm here for it. Yep. Well, very good. So thank you to everyone who joined us for our first.
Thank you so much.
Hanging left of 2026.
Let's keep this up. I really want to push this to the next, stratosphere.
Me too. Yep. 100%.
Yeah. Share it with your friends. Share it with your neighbors.
Yeah. You can find it. Subscribe to it on your podcast platform of choice.
Absolutely.
And on YouTube.
Secretly offer to buy, your MAGA relatives earpods and just play us at nauseum on loop. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening.
All right, Todd. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. And we'll talk to you all a little bit later. Bye-bye.
All right.
Hanging left, yeah, we're breaking through. Pushing back.